toutes les chances sont contre toi. When you can't push one more second, chase the glory. Visez haut.
Sports on CBC, presented by Sport à Radio-Canada, une présentation du gouvernement du Canada, the Government of Canada, Nike, Fox 40, Veriburn Medical Supply, Les Bagues Baron Rings, BioSteel, Hilton Quebec, Michelob Ultra, Wilson, APAR, and by Sun Life.
Good evening and welcome back to day one of the 2026 U Sports Women's Final 8 from St. Foy, Quebec, Laval University. I'm Mo Call alongside Coach Dana Ross of the University of Toronto Varsity Blues. Coach, welcome into the broadcast booth. We have an all-Can-West battle here, beg your pardon. It's Saskatchewan, it's UBC. No love lost with these two teams. Last year, UBC's party got ruined by Saskatchewan.
Yep.
This year, they beat them twice in regular season. Now here they are in Quebec City. This is not for the marbles, but this is the chance to get one step closer towards gold and Sunday afternoon.
Absolutely. I mean, being Saskatchewan, getting this second opportunity to be here, well-deserved between you and I. Excited. I'm sure that they're excited to redeem themselves.
So for the Huskies, they got skunked by the Dinos at home 2 weeks ago. And speaking to Maya Flendal and what she said, she goes, look, it gave us time to kind of recoup mentally and physically and get ready for this event here. Are they going to play with a chip on the shoulder now coming into this tournament?
Yeah, I mean, every time that you have a perfect season, that's what happens, is that some mistakes are allowed in some ways because you always come out with it. But, this is a great way for them to redeem themselves, like I said.
And for UBC, look, they know what's at task. Speaking to some of the girls yesterday, they go, look, we know what's at task for us. We have the Huskies. They have had our number, but this means business for them today against the Huskies.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great opportunity to be the best. You got to beat the best.
We'll see what happens with the best. And the two players to look at here, and we look at the bracket right now. The right side of the bracket is confirmed for one half of the Final Four. It will be UNB against the Dinos. We got UBC, Saskatchewan coming up, and then tonight, the nightcap, Laval and TMU. But right now, the focus is on the all-Can-West battle here. And the two players that we're looking forward to watching today start off with UBC, the star player in Madame Weeks, and how she's been so far.
Yeah, I mean, she has been everything for UBC this year. Impacted the game offensively, impacting the game defensively. That is just who she is.
And for Saskatchewan, Gage Grassic, she's been wonderful this year. The pharmacist, as I like to call her, that's her program of success right now. She's been great for them. How important will she be in the first few minutes of play? Because she is that veteran, the heartbeat of the Husky program.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if she came out and she really is confident in her ability because that's who she is. She is the player of the year for a reason.
We'll see what happens today. It's going to be a battle. Thunderbirds, Huskies coming up here from Laval. And we look forward to bringing this game here on this Thursday afternoon. Coming up is the player introductions, and then from there, tip-off between Saskatchewan and UBC from St. Foy, Quebec.
Numéro 5, number 5, Jelly and Betsy. Le numéro 6, number 6, Saris Martin. Le numéro 8, number 8, Sarah Toneguzzi. Le numéro 9, number 9, Olivia Weeks. Et le numéro 22, and number 22, Cassie Jonica. L'entraîneur-chef, the head coach, Dave Taylor. Les officiels pour le match, the officials for the game. The crew chief, l'arbitre en chef, Marie-Pierre Hull. Elle sera assistée de Shelly Quintos et Tommy Wu.
All right, here we go. Tip-off coming up between UBC and the Saskatchewan Huskies. The Huskies 27-1, UBC, again, a tough road for them this year. They went 16-4, and this is a chance for them to redeem themselves. Party was ruined last year at home by Saskatchewan, and here they are meeting up in the Quebec City capital on the edges of the city. And the first play and the first conversion courtesy of Weeb, and they're off and running for the Huskies.
I mean, Sask, 5 players average above double digits for them. So this is just the first one, first great attempt.
Brilliant feed, and here's Olivia Weeks from Winnipeg, Manitoba. And you know the history, and that is a turnover by her, a rare miscue. They hit about 18 a game. They had 26 in the loss in the win over Trinity earlier this season. And we know that these two teams here, and you can just see the focus for both these teams coming in, knowing that this first game being very familiar with each other twice during the regular season, and now here they are in the knockout game coming up.
It's definitely to not take it for granted, being here.
Well, that's the thing. It's one and done, right? If you lose, you're going to the consolation bracket. Here is Grassic. Flindell coming through, the jumper. And that was overcooked by Hare. 2 left in the shot clock at the death, and a stamping start for Dodig and the Huskies off to a 4-0 lead.
What a hustle play from Dodig, a 5th-year veteran.
And this is a team that hits about 44 rebounds per game, and a team that scored about 84 a game, high-low, in traffic. Nothing but a green wall, and that cannot be converted by Jolicoeur, and away come the Huskies up by 4. And this is now quite the verve for the legs of Saskatchewan. Backdoor coming on the far side, and a whistle and a foul as DeMong will go to the line. The St. Albert, Alberta native will be at the line for the first time today.
Again, they play with so much composure, as you can see. Like they get to their action. Look at just the positioning and the way that she can play the angles and find her way to the rim there.
DeMong had 13 games of 10-plus points during the regular season, had 24, 13, and 6 against Manitoba. However, only 4 points on 1 of 9 shooting against Calgary. And you could talk about the talking point. The big hitters were not as effervescent against the Dinos a fortnight ago. And a 2-for-2 effort, and they're off to a 5-0 lead here. The Huskies, again, shooting 44%. You look at their offensive output, they are top 10 in all the key categories this season.
Yeah, I mean, you said top 10, but just best offense in the country, best offensive rebounding team, top 3 at least, sorry. But that's just who they are, right?
And the best shooter on UBC Weeks opens up her account at the Nationals, her first 2 points of the day to break the 5-0 run for the Huskies. To the right it goes, the finger roll, and so far Weeb has been perfect, 2 of 2, and this Husky team has been nearly perfect on the offensive end.
Yeah, they're really playing at their pace right now so far. And again, it's only been 2 minutes, right? So
UBC is top 3 in defending points against, only 52 points given up per game, but right now the Huskies look like they're going to score 100 at the clip that they're going at. From the center arc. Off the heel, a rebound for Weeks, losing on the 50-50. Last touch kept alive by the Huskies. A new 14 to work with. Flindell's 3. And cannot use the angle of the window, and right into the hands it comes to the T-Birds. And the Thunderbirds trying to get through, and that's a whistle, and that will be a foul as Evanston will go to the line for the first time today. And that might be their passport to victory here, Coach, is to get to the free throw line. UBC this year was 13th at 71% per game. They make about 15 free throws per game, top 3 in Canada.
that is impressive. But again, you can see it. They take advantage of non-set defense to get to their free throw line, like you said, right? So them drawing foul in transition is what they're looking for.
This rivalry has been embroiled. And you talk about the Huskies. They've had the number of UBC Thunderbirds for quite a while. And Coach Tomatis, she's been one of the best in this business, you know very well.
Yeah, she's definitely someone that, you know, the gold standard in a lot of ways in Canada.
The only standard, perhaps. And right there, the standard set by Flindell. She gets her first 2, and they're off to a 9-2 lead.
Looks like her first game today, or second game today.
Carbon copy of how it is.
Yeah.
UBC still stuck in park, and right now the Huskies have been barking their way through. Weeks denied. Recovering in time for UBC with 5 left in the shot clock. Splash. Merton only a 15% three-point shooter, comes at a crucial moment down by 4. Flendell can't find that. Here's Merton going the other way. 2-on-2 for the Thunderbirds. Down to the left wing, the Euro stopping, looking, 5-0 run, and then 2 blinks of the eye. UBC back in this game down by 2.
It's just a matter of possessions, right?
And you know that very well, and it might come down to the last possession with these 2 top hitting programs going at it today.
Absolutely. What you expect from Nationals is tight games, played at best.
Grassic split away, foul on Grassic, and a triple sub coming in for UBC. We talked about the allocation of availability of depth, and that might be the key with these 2 programs going at it. You can see there with Grassic, the well-defended play by the UBC Thunderbirds in this matchup.
That was a frustrating foul from Grassic, but again, she's a veteran player. She knows what she can and what she can't do, and at this point, she took a chance, and she knows that she'll play with 1 foul for now.
9-7 lead for Saskatchewan over UBC. In the game for the first time, Tanguzi now looking over, baseline, cannot finish that through, and that is on the ground, still fighting for it. Still in UBC possession. They circle the wagons. Bergman back with it from North Van, BC. Merton can't find point number 5, and a rebound right back over to the Huskies.
It was a crowded space for a shot to go up.
Reeder back over Dodig in traffic, and the post move not good for Weeb, and back over, and a whistle, and knocked on the ground is Bergman. Slow to get up, and perhaps an injury to her elbow. Hopefully nothing too serious.
Yeah, again,
and
you never want to see this happening.
You see from the replay right there, she landed hard on the right elbow, and hopefully it's nothing too serious. And she'll have to be helped off, and that it could be a big problem for this UBC team and what she brings onto the court for them this season.
Yeah, and you never want to see player go down, right?
No, Bergman scoring about 6 a game this year, and Bergman missed some time in the fall. Twice scored 13 points in a game, so she has the ability to get the numbers in robust terms.
She seems in a lot of pain on that bench, if you look at her.
And back with it, coming in the game for the first time, Sarah Lagrange. And here she is from the flats. Lagrange looking for the options to work with. Post play coming through. Nothing going through, as that's missed by Wagner. And a 3-on-2 for the Huskies. Reeder tripped up. On the end line it comes. UBC. And who's this flow favor more, UBC or the Huskies?
I believe the Huskies. I think they want to get into transition. They want to play through some trigger actions. But it seems like on both sides, it's extremely physical. You know, we see bodies on the ground. We see people fighting for rebounding. Again, we expect that at Nationals, right? But such a physical game so far. Coach
Tamai said earlier this season on an interview that this team is low maintenance, gritty, and will die for anything. You've seen it so far. They've dove for all the balls out there. Another rebound coming up for Dodig.
Absolutely. And those are the players that you want to coach, right?
There's no doubt about that. You want to have that ability to get those type of players on this roster. Here is Reeder inside the paint. And a rebound coming back for Wagner. So both teams are slowed down. We're halfway through the first quarter play. Taylor tape, who's his favorite right now, UBC or Saskatchewan?
I feel like Saskatchewan is able to suffocate UBC's offense a bit more. And so seems like as I speak about it, here we go.
And here comes a trill. Extra pass from the flats. And that is overcooked this time from the release of Harm. And this goes back over to the Huskies. 10 left on the shot clock to work for the team in green. Off to the window and in. They finally get another basket, and that's Gage Grassic on that conversion.
Yeah, and every time it seems like it's a tougher basket for UBC.
And LaGrange missing that 3, goes out of bounds. And now we look at it forward here. And again, for this moving forward, it is going to be a timeout call. This game, the 2026 U Sports Final 8 for the women's basketball, brought to you by Michelob Light and Hilton, Quebec. Stay tuned from Laval, Quebec. It is UBC and Saskatchewan. Welcome back here to the 2026 Sun Life U Sports Women's Basketball Final presented by Michelob in Hilton, Quebec on CBC. And don't forget, the best of the U Sports men's volleyball teams battle in the 2026 BioSteel Men's Volleyball Championship March 13th to 15th from the University of Windsor. Catch all the action on the CBC platforms, GEM, CBCSports.ca, and CBC Sports YouTube. U Sports on CBC is where it is. And right now, Coach, two of the top attractions from the Canada West here in Quebec. Saskatchewan, 45% shooting so far in the first quarter. And for UBC, 33%, but it's been all green in this first quarter of play.
Yeah, I mentioned it earlier. It's all about suffocating their offense, right? Everything they catch in the key, there's one or two bodies at them. And so, you know, it makes it tough. It lowers percentage.
And right now, the body shape has been correct, and going to the line is Dodig. And you can see on the replay right there, she attacked with no fear or intimidation with the T-Birds back line out there trying to hold serve.
Interesting story by Dodig. She played pro in Croatia for half a season. Did you know that?
I did not know that, but you know, Croatian weather is a lot nicer than weather in Saskatchewan, that's for sure.
Or right now in Quebec.
Or anywhere in Canada for that matter, except for UBC, which is probably nice balmy weather at 10 degrees or so. And right now it's been a hot start for Saskatchewan, a bit of a cold start for UBC. And the conversion not there for Weeb. Another rebound for UBC. Can they get going here? And Olivia Weeks is the one we have to look at as being the central figure for this box office team in UBC. And here she is in the paint.
Yeah, I like the fact that she's trying to take advantage of Dodig inside with her size.
And there is the size, and there is Weeks. And that is going to be a whistle, and that will be a foul on Dodig with 3:11 left in this first quarter play. And we know that for a player like Olivia Weeks, 18 games for UBC, scored 10-plus points, had 30 against UBCO, 7 times had 10-plus rebounds, had 19 and 7 in the Can West final in the loss to Calgary. And she definitely could be a top hitter, a poacher of points for the Thunderbirds. Yeah,
such a versatile player, so active and athletic. I mean, she can impact the game in so many ways.
Let's see what they can do now as they're down by 6 with 3:05 left. The negotiation. And that is authored by Wynn, her first points from Burnaby, BC, and they're down by 4.
Great pull-up. I mean, what can you say?
That's almost a Diana Ross shot over there. And back over it comes, and here is Lindell. And Flindell hits that one, and she is now 2 or 3 for 4 points.
I'm going mid-range to mid-range right now.
And right now, Flindell has done a wonderful job. They're up by 6, 2:35 left in this first quarter of play. Weeks. And that's deflected away. And here comes DeMong, and here comes Flindell with the layup. And that's a 4-0 run for her, and they're up by 8 with 2:24 left. Win. UBC now trying to get themselves back on track, down by 8. They've been trailing this game since jump. Win again. DeMong on her. Looking for the outlet, nothing to go for 3. And a new 14 for UBC to work with through, and that's defended very well by the Huskies out of bounds. Remains UBC ball, 9 left in the shot clock.
You can see UBC's offense is very stagnant, right? They're not creating any .5s, they're not creating any advantages. Obviously, crashing the boards always helps. And here, right, as soon as she catches it inside off that rebound, there's 2 people on her. Makes it tough to score a basket.
Right now, the heat map for UBC has not found any success yet in attacking the paint. Tunguzi now looking. Another rebound for Saskatchewan. And that size for Sask is quite immense. And they have depth to work with.
Absolutely.
Open chance going through. Here's DeMong. Posting up, looking for the outlet to work with. 10 left in the shot clock for the Huskies. And Reeder had that taken away from her. It remains USAS ball. 5 left in the shot clock. And they'll bring in new subs, new legs to work with as going off is DeMong for the moment.
Very interesting. Sask has forwards that are faced to the basket, so that creates a lot of space in that paint for them to attack the rim.
They catch and shoot 3 off the iron. Rebound. Maldi getting that. Her first touch in the game for the first time. Back out to Flindell. Trying to work her way through on 4 points. The veteran of this team. No pressure at all. The leadership council said, look, we're okay. We can do this, no problem. And Weeks will be called for the foul as she knocked over Maldi at the rim. And you can see the frustration starting to build up here for UBC. Just not getting the calls going the way. And you see right there, Maldi's had to step on Weeks.
You know, Mo, that's the problem. When you allow offensive rebounds, it's either you give a basket, you get an open three, or you foul. And that's exactly what happens.
And 1-for-1 is Maldi, a 59% free throw shooter from Moose Jaw, Saskatchewan. Another fifth-year player on this roster. They have a bunch of fifth years on this team, so they know what it takes to win. They won it last year, right? They are the queens right now of U Sports women's basketball. And a high window shot and in for two. Tanguzi getting her first 2 points in that attempt.
Such a tough shot, high on that window, like you said.
And right now, they are galloping forward, the Huskies. They have been using their Saskatoon street smarts in this first quarter of play to their excellence. Back out it comes. Here is Grassic, a whistle. And this will be a foul on UBC, which will be, I believe, number 4 on them.
You can see both teams know each other really well. They go to their tendencies, they know their actions. Everything is covered, and it's just a matter of making reads right now.
And right now, we'll see if the mirroring of objects here can be step for step. But right now, Saskatchewan's up by a few steps on them in the scoreboard. Reader, open jumper, and that will clank out. 34 seconds left, rebound for UBC, a chance to maybe get a bit closer to either be down by 5 or maybe 4. Back over to Merton, who had a 3 earlier in this quarter of play. Open from the center arc. And that does not connect for the Thunderbirds, and back over a new 14 to work with. Good spacing by UBC, and they're 0 for 2 on those last 2 attempts.
That's Jolie Carroll's shot. That's what she wants to do, that mid-range.
7 seconds left in this first quarter. Last roll for Grassic, the veteran of this team. Another whistle. And this will be the 15th foul on UBC.
Yeah. Not a great foul to end the quarter with 3.2 seconds and sending the team into
bonus.
Bonus, exactly.
And Harm will go to the line, the second-year player from Stockholm, Sweden.
Oh.
So the Huskies have recruited international waters in the lovely country of Sweden, for that matter.
Very impressive with this fan base from Saskatchewan. They're all here right now. It's a lot of greens.
Well, they heard that you were coming, so they figured to show up. That's what they did. 3.2 seconds left in this first quarter of play at the death. And that's sent towards Cranbrook 3C at the end of the first quarter. It's been all USask. They're up by a score of 19-11 against UBC. You are watching the 2026 U Sports Women's Final Eight Basketball presented by Sun Life, Michelob, and Hilton Quebec on CBC. Stay tuned.
Delaney, territoire du Nord-Ouest, le berceau du hockey. On y trouve une communauté riche en histoire et en tradition que Quaker voulait surprendre avec une toute nouvelle cantine déjeuner Quaker dans son aréna. En plus d'offrir notre avoine canadienne à grains entiers, la cantine est maintenant l'endroit pour se rassembler, manger et célébrer. Nous sommes fiers d'alimenter la passion du hockey dans son village d'origine, parce que peu importe d'où tu viens, t'es capable.
Thirsty? With 5 essential electrolytes and 0 sugar, BioSteel is the game changer you've been looking for. All of the good stuff with no extras and no gimmicks. Just clean, healthy hydration. Trusted by pro athletes since 2009. Steel sharpens steel.
It's not just about the victory. It's about the moments leading up to it. BioSteel, the fuel behind every victory.
Welcome back here. It's been all industry. It's been dazzling basketball from the Saskatchewan Huskies in this first quarter play. They shot 47% as you take a look at the Wilson stats right now. And quite the discrepancy, quite the front foot movement by the Huskies. And again, they scored 19-11 for UBC. But again, the field goal numbers is the talking point for why Saskatchewan's up over UBC. You
know, I mentioned it earlier. Every time someone from UBC catches the ball, they see two bodies immediately. So their rotation is already early and it's there, and every time you catch it, it's going to be a lower percentage shot, right? And so that probably explains the percentage right there.
They've been in sparkling form, and right now it has not been so much sparkling for UBC as Bergman will be called for the foul. And we're seeing the officiating be tight in this game here. And I would imagine that UBC might start politicking their way with the officials. I see from the replay right there.
Yeah, it's very physical. Very physical.
Bergman was a little too ticklish on that play. And now back over to the Huskies with 9:40 left in this first half. 19-11 lead for the team from Saskatchewan. And Flindell, 6 points to her name, and she's been a chief destroyer of UBC so far in this matchup.
Yeah, it's going to be hard to stop Flindell when she goes downhill that way with some momentum.
And she's been all that so far. A big part, 8 points to her name. 4 of 8 shooting so far in this first quarter into the second quarter of action. Homework to be done for the Thunderbirds. Mertens jumper. And it's not fallen yet for the Thunderbirds in this game. On the byline it comes, and tripped up is Wagner. And that will be the first team foul on the Huskies in quarter number 2. And you see right there, Wagner using her size. And you mentioned before, Coach, that the Huskies had that size, and perhaps an X factor could be a Brooke Wagner and what she can bring onto the court for the T-Birds.
Yeah, I mean, she's so versatile at her size. You know, she plays face to the basket. She's able to create a lot just by facing up.
Looking at the stats right now, again, Olivia Weeks only 2 points. She's 1 of 1 from the field. And for the Huskies, a plethora of players at 4 points or more. Weeb at 4, Dodig at 4, Flindell is at 8 points. And again, Saskatchewan's shooting 50% now. And that keeps on going up. And for the UBC Thunderbirds, it's going in the wrong direction with the field goal numbers. And what's being said right now, Coach, in that huddle, because you're down by 10. This is the biggest lead for the Huskies so far, and we're not even through the first half yet. Stay tuned here. You're watching the 2026 U Sports Women's Final 8 from Laval, Quebec.
Feel every hit, goal, and celebration as if you're standing right on the sideline, immersing you in the game like never before, bringing heart-pounding action directly to millions of fans. We deliver unparalleled simplicity and tailor-made digital broadcasting solutions crafted to make you feel every moment in a way like never before. Our passionate team ensures your message reaches audiences reliably every time. Proudly Canadian, we bring a touch of innovation and our passion to the world stage. ISI Live, be there.
Delaney, Northwest Territories, the birthplace of hockey. Here, you'll find a community full of history and tradition. A community that Quaker surprised by transforming their arena kitchen into a Quaker breakfast bar. Stocked with our Canadian whole grain oats, it's now a place to gather, to eat, and to celebrate. We're proud to feed the passion for hockey in the place where it all started. Because we believe no matter where you're from, you've got this.
Open 3 for Mertens, splash, and that goes through for UBC. The tonic required, and 2-point converting confirmed. It's down by 7.
Yeah, I mean, they're playing percentage right now. She is not, you know, their biggest threat at the 3-point line, but now she's feeling confident with it.
And Bergman with a block. They hit about 3 blocks a game. They had 5 games of 4 blocks or more this season for UBC. Post play Wagner using her deltoids. In traffic, well defended by the Huskies. Backdoor, in again for Bergman. That's 4 points the last 2 possessions for her.
They're going on a run. It's 5-point run, 5-0 right now.
Can they contain the fizz in the bottle from the 45? And the rebound won back by UBC, and you're seeing more hustle from the team in white in the last few possessions than before, Coach.
I mean, that's a great timeout from UBC, able to regroup and come out with, you know, a strategy and a bit more connected and a bit more fight.
UBC shooting just at 32%, 7 of 22 in this game. They've hit 2 threes. Right now, Saskatchewan 0 of 5 from 3-point range in this game.
Yeah, I mean, we can expect them to knock down a few today. So let's see.
Well, they hit about 7 a game. And here is Grassic, and they're 0 for 6, and another foul called, and this will be against UBC. And we talked about the size of Saskatchewan. Again, they're a top 5 rebounding team at 44 a game. That can lean on teams if you're a little bit smaller in size against opponents that might be bigger in size.
Well, see, I think they match, UBC pretty well in terms of size. But what's important here, as you can see, is that Saskatchewan has 14 points in the paint so far. So that really plays a role in it.
There remains 14 points in the paint, and that was denied Dodig. And for the Thunderbirds, a chance to get this down to maybe 3, if not 2. Wagner, the lefty. And a one and done for UBC.
I mean, that's a great shot for Wagner. Just hope that it falls.
Grassic, the pharmacist, finding his back out over towards Harm. The Swedish native looking out for the option to work with. Harm from the center arc. Here's Grassic again, looking for the pick and pop from the free throw line. And the rebound right back over to Merton. And she's knocked over. That ball's going to find its way towards Bergman. And they're doing this without Weeks on the court, which is quite impressive for UBC to find the verve required.
Absolutely, but I think they've been playing like that all season long, with people coming in and out and impacting the game. So I don't think this is news for them, Mo.
And here's the Huskies' pace and transition, and Grassic will go to the free throw line. Taking her first free throws of this quarter, just under 80% per game from Prince Albert, Saskatchewan.
Do you know where that is?
Yes, I do. Home of the Prince Albert Raiders of the WHL.
There you go.
And there is Grassic, and her ability to create in transition is second to none in the Canada West this season, Coach.
I mean, I got the chance to coach on the 3x3 team U23 last year, and she is so brilliant in the way she, maneuver and play, make, and create opportunities. And so I am no surprise at what's going on right now.
She's almost like Cirque du Soleil with the body movement. Like she can adjust her body and do things that can get her the shot on net, and she's 0 for 2 on that. It remains a 5-point lead for the Huskies. From the flats, the 3, and a miss coming from DeMonk.
You got to learn how to shoot in this gym, huh? That's for sure. The lights are bright.
They're bright right now, and here is a long-range jumper off the window, and that was well off the target. And away goes the Huskies with 6:45 left, so the scoring has slowed down for the Huskies. Grassic, back out it comes, and here is DeMonk at the controls of the ship, trying to get the Huskies .23 or .24. From the flats again. And they're now 0-4 from long range so far, Coach. They're 0 for 8.
Yeah, I mean, especially on that baseline. If you see, Mo, there's a light right there on the baseline. It's a really tough spot to shoot when you're not used to it.
And this will go out of bounds. Last touch by the Huskies. And back in the game is Logan Reeder.
But what I liked about Saskatchewan's offense is that they're playing on both sides of the court. They go baseline, they see the weak side for a shooter. If not, they go again, they swing the ball on the opposite side. And so creating those rotations are extremely important for open shots. Now it's just a matter of making them.
And can the UBC find the open shot to work with? And here is the open shot from the flats. And that's off the iron again, and a rebound for the superstar in Grassic.
Yeah, that's a wide open shot that they're looking for. Again, making shots.
Grassic finding his way through towards Reeder. Here's Grassic from the 45. Splash, and they finally got it right. And a hammer blow as they're up by 8.
What is this, 1 for 9, Mo?
That is correct, 1 for 9.
And UBC is 2 for 8, so really low percentage shooting today.
And that is a miss for Weeks. She's 1 of 2 from the field.
That's their 5th offensive rebound.
And they can't get that. 6th offensive rebound again, and a whistle as Jolie Kerr will be impeded. And a jump ball hour point towards the Huskies, and an 8-point lead in their back pocket. And Jolie Kerr will go off. We'll get a quick respite, and she's back out there. Have to go to the garbage can for 2 seconds. And in the game now for the first time in this quarter is Maldi. And she was a pest for the UBC Thunderbirds, defending, getting the rebounds, and doing the blue-collar stuff for the Huskies.
Blue-collar, I like that. That's
a term that's used very popular. Well, like I said, they are low maintenance, the Huskies. That's what they are. They like to be gritty out there. And Saskatchewan holding on to an 8-point lead. And here's a chance for Grassic on the 3. The rebound finding its way back into traffic. They'll reload with new 14 to work with.
Talking about gritty.
Grassic dancing her way through. Watched by Merton, eyeball to eyeball. Looking to the right, going to the left. Back out to the flats. Here it is, the release. Missed by Reeder at a new 14, almost like a hockey power play for Saskatchewan. And it goes back to UBC.
That's one of my favorite action in basketball, a hammer screen, you know, which is a flare screen to the corner when you're attacking. It's so efficient if you have a good shooter in that corner.
I thought you were going to say the hockey power play was your favorite thing in sports.
Oh, Mo, I don't know anything about hockey.
That's okay, though. But right now, we're watching the sport of basketball. That's the most important thing for you and I right now. And back with it is Tungazy now, looking for the options giveaway. Here comes the Huskies. Grassic will find his way towards Reeder. And Grassic will now direct the operation. He's trying to get the motive operation going towards for another 2, if not 3 points from the center arc. And that's well off the target. They're 1 of 10 from long range.
That's their second possession with offensive rebounding right there.
Split up, and Grassic will go to the free throw line, and she will have another 2 free throw attempts coming up here. And a frustrating start for UBC. And as you see from Grassic, what she did, able to go through the heart of the Thunderbirds defense. And I believe that foul, was that on Weeks, if I stand correct on that? No, it's on Merton, I beg your pardon. So Merton will be called for the foul. There's a bit of perspiration on the court. And this will be free throws here for Grassic, up by 8. Again, they've been up as much as 10 in this game. And UBC got this down as low as 4. But they are trying to hold on here as Grassic missing a rare free throw. She's 80% this season for the Huskies.
It's a lot of fouls in this quarter. They're already at 4 fouls for UBC. So, you know, next foul gets into bonus. That's sending Sask to the free throw line is going to be difficult for 4 minutes.
Well, the thing is, you talk about the Huskies, they make about 14 free throws per game. They've had 20-plus free throws or better in 3 games this season. So they know how to hit their free throws when called upon. And they're up by 9, and Weeks being double-teamed again. Ebbiston finding his way through. Here's Bergman. Off the window and in, using the geometry to her liking.
Such a tough shot to make. Well defended, better offense.
7-point lead, and here's Dodig back at the controls. Diana Ross Mocon on this Thursday night, south of 4:25, 18 lead for the Huskies. They've led from wire to wire. And here's an open 3 again. And that does not connect. And a new 14 to work with for the Huskies on the missed shot from Dodig. Grassic again, using her douse, the fade. And that's her DNA in the paint.
Yeah, using her physicality to create that shot off one leg. It looks like Marina Johannes right there.
And right now it's a plus 10, 18-8 points in the paint for the Huskies in this game, and they're up by 9. And now we have a jump ball. It remains UBC ball, as there was a bit of a struggle in that battle with Maldi and one of the UBC Thunderbird players. Now back in the game for the Thunderbirds, Obi LaGrange. Along coming in is DeMonk with the top hitter in Flindell.
I think she was called a foul on this one here. I don't know that she agreed with it, but regardless, you know, as soon as she caught the ball inside, there's already 2 bodies on her.
And that's what the Huskies have done. The blueprint has been their success so far with 3:20 left in this first half of play. Win. Jade Win for 3. And can't find the bottom of that. And now UBC's 2 of 9 from long range in this game.
And especially at a low percentage, it is tough to try to make a tough shot like that. Off the dribble, step back.
And back with it is Harmon. Here's Grassic with it. DeMong on the right. Flindell to the far right. Flindell. And that is off the window and in. And once again, into the hands it goes for Harm, and they're up by 11, the biggest lead of the game.
They're really making it tough on Sask to score, although it's really off of rebounding or sometimes luck that Sask is able to catch those passes.
Transition. Back out, and this is going to go the other way. And for UBC, had that shot gone through, that might have been a real blow to the jaw late in this first half.
Some great defensive play right there. Look at that. Well established, in space. Ibbotson putting her body on the ground.
Now, if that's me, I would make the business decision to not give up my body and just let the ball go through. You know, physicality is not my forte right now. But right now, it's been the forte of the Huskies. They're up by a score of 29-18 here in this ballgame. Coach, right now, what does UBC have to do to kind of change the narrative going towards the final stages of this first half?
Trying to contain Saskatchewan a bit better. You know, Saskatchewan is moving the ball from left to right, really not so much feeling the pressure and create a rotation. They do feel that pressure once they get into that paint, but trying to be a bit more aggressive around that three-point line could help them. And
don't forget, CUBC is Canada's home for university sports action. The nation's top university men's basketball teams are in Calgary this weekend for the 2026 U Sports Final 8, presented by Student Housing Calgary. Catch the gold medal game on Sunday, which will be at 7 p.m. East, 5 p.m. Mountain Time for the men's, and of course the women's will have theirs at 5 p.m. East and 3 p.m. Mountain Time. And we know our good friend Arash Madani will be doing the play-by-play out in Calgary. And for those who don't know, Arash Madani is a proud Bishop Gator alum.
Is that right?
He is. If you ever see his social media stuff, he always prides himself on the purple of Bishop's University. So I hope for him he can kind of maintain the objectivity of the broadcast when BU plays its games starting tomorrow.
Listen, I find it hard too. I'm not going to lie.
Well, you are a former Gator coach, so you and Arash have that connection of being Gators.
I was talking about the McGill game earlier today.
That too, yes. Yes. And right now there's a tie-up right there, and the ball will remain UBC with 2:21 left. Don't forget, men's will begin their event tomorrow. They'll go 3 days, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We will be back tomorrow for 2, the consolation bracket. They'll have 3 Saturday, then 2 on Sunday. And here comes the inbound here for UBC with 2:21 left in this first half of play. And while the nightcap, TMU against the host, Laval Rougeois, from the Laval home court. Ebbston now back with it. And that was nearly taken away by the Huskies. And you see Tomatis trying to work the referees and say it was out of bounds, last touch by UBC, but to no avail.
Yeah, I think Dodig felt the same way.
And Tunguzi now will be the inbounder in front of the UBC bench. Here is Wynn. Wynn has been playing some more minutes than before, and that is denied by DeMong, and the long-range jumper is better than the rejection, and now they're back in this game down by 8.
A very clutch shot from Taniguchi.
And back over it comes. Here is Harm. Grassic. Harm to her right. And the Euro is smooth. And they're back up by 10.
She's Gage Grassic.
Who is she? She is her. That's what she is. She is one of the best to ever wear that Husky uniform. And that ball is sent back towards Surrey, BC. And another turnover by the Thunderbirds, and in this game, that's now number 7 for the evening. And Grassic will have the ball back here with 1:35 left. Coach Dana Ross, Mo Khan on this Thursday evening, game 3 of 4, with 1 more to go. Dodig, the jumper, too strong, rebound, and that is through a sea of hands. It will find its way towards Ebbston, and now she's being trapped, and this will be a foul far, far away from the USask net.
I love the fight. I mean, you know, a really great rebound by Sask, and then, by UBC, and then Sask double team right away, trying to get the ball back. You got to give it to the ladies.
And right now, they got to fight tooth and nail, because for the UBC Thunderbirds, they'll have a serious examination in the second half if it remains a 10-point lead for the best team in Canada in the Saskatchewan Huskies. Wagner around the protractor it comes. Here is Wynn again. Wynn dancing against Grassic. Here's the teardrop. And the rebound right back into the hands of Dodig. And Grassic is on the go. And they will wait for reinforcements with 55 seconds left in this first half of play. Grassic down low, post play, looking, waiting, off balance, and then miss. A rare miss for DeMong, who scores about 11 a game for the Huskies.
You can see the Saskatchewan coach is not happy with the no call.
And she won't be happy with that three-point shot open for Tunguzi, who's a 20% three-point shooter, and they're down by 7.
She's knocked down a few important shots so far. As soon as you see one going in, it's like an ocean.
And Tunguzi hit that 3. Here's a 2-on-1 for UBC. Could it be .5? Confirmed. And Tunguzi hits that one. They're down by 5.
That's a 8-point swing?
That is an 8-point swing, confirmed. You are smart in math, Coach. I am not.
Hey, I'm a McGill graduate.
That is a high esteem of education. And here is Grassic The pharmacist with the dosage of a 3 at the death at the end of the first half is Saskatchewan 34, UBC 26. So they go into the locker room up by 8, and that changes the complexion, being up by 8, then up by 5 for both teams.
Yeah, I mean, that 3-point off the backboard, as much as she doesn't like it, still gives them an 8-point lead instead of just a 5-point lead.
It's not pretty for the shot making, but it's beautiful for the scoreboard. Saskatchewan's up at halftime by a score 34-26. You're watching the 2026 Sun Life Youth Sports Women's Basketball Final 8, presented by Michelob and Hilton Quebec on CBC. Stay tuned.
Hi, I'm Sarah Tanaguzzi. I'm a fifth-year student athlete at the University of British Columbia studying food, nutrition, and health. How I started playing basketball, I was in 5th grade, and I had a coach come up to me and just like, you should consider doing this more seriously. So I started to join more competitive teams, and it just kind of took off from there. I would describe myself as a leader and facilitator for my team. I'm just a guard spot, so I take a lot of just who needs the ball, where to get the ball, setting my team up, keeping composure, and just making sure we're sticking to the game plan. How I define success versus wins and losses is just how I compete, how much I'm working hard, sticking to my strengths, and knowing that I can bring what I bring to my team. I look up to my mom. She's just been my constant support, and that, you know, I can do hard things and that I'm capable. So I love having her in my corner, and she's my role model for sure. My teammates have helped me become a better person and player on and off the court, pushing me to get outside my comfort zone, to lead. They are always uplifting and supporting me, so to strive and reach my goals, even if I'm doubting myself. So they have a lot of belief in me, and that has helped me grow. We're a pretty connected group, and we've played with each other for a long time. So the keys to success for us have definitely been supporting each other through highs and lows, knowing that we can accomplish like what our goals are and what we set out to do, and we want to play for each other. So I think that's what keeps us going no matter what. What it's like to be a youth sports student athlete, definitely a lot of chaos and time management skills, but it's something I wouldn't trade for the world. I've absolutely loved getting to be on my team, but also the other athletes and teams at UBC. It's a great community, and we all support each other and are going through school and sports. So it's super awesome, and I'll take it with me for the rest of my life.
It's not just about the victory. It's about the moments leading up to it. BioSteel, the fuel behind every victory.
Thirsty? With 5 essential electrolytes and 0 sugar, BioSteel is the game changer you've been looking for. All of the good stuff with no extras and no gimmicks, just clean, healthy hydration. Trusted by pro athletes since 2009. Steel sharpens steel.
Feel every hit, point, and celebration as if you're standing right on the sideline. Our passionate team unlocks a world of possibilities with digital broadcasting made simple, bringing heart-pounding action directly to millions of fans. Proudly Canadian, ISI Live, be there.
Hi, my name is Maya Flindell, and I'm a fourth-year student athlete from the University of Saskatchewan. I started playing basketball, I think, in the 5th grade. I played soccer, I swam, I did a bunch of different stuff growing up, but both my parents played basketball, and so just eventually it was my time to try it out and just fell in love with it right away. I just love to create, like I would say 3-level scorer on offense. Just, really enjoy having the ball in my hands, moving off the ball, playing with pace, and just creating for myself and my teammates. I think I'm just a super goal-oriented person, so just always having small goals for myself and stuff in the future that I'm preparing for and able to work towards, because it's always just, satisfying to be able to see how far you've come. I would say my parents are huge, just the sacrifices they've made for me and the way they treat people. They're just people that I'll always love and always have so much appreciation for. I think just holding me accountable, whether it's on and off the floor. I think being a student athlete surrounded by people that are doing the same thing as you and making the same sacrifices, it's just awesome to have people to carry you through with them. I think our depth has been huge. We have so many people that can contribute. Our grit and just our experience have just all contributed to our successful season so far. It's amazing. I mean, the opportunities are amazing. I've just enjoyed my time so much, both in school and in basketball, and it's definitely an experience that I do not take for granted. I think just the talent is on display, and we're getting a lot more, recognition and media and just more people looking at us, and I think it's awesome, but there's so much talent here in Canada. Our grit, I would say. I think just when we really are intense and we get after every ball and we don't take any possessions off, I think great things happen for us.
Where exceptional student athletes are born, where records are broken, where great plays are made, where school colors ignite passion, where champions prevail, where tradition is celebrated, Ontario University Athletics.
That's embarrassing. You know it's not embarrassing? Using FIG for a home improvement loan. A quick, simple, and transparent offer in minutes. Borrow better with FIG.
Hey, U Sports fans, check out shop.usports.ca for this week's promotional item from the Nike Team Collection. Visitez le shop.usport.ca pour en profiter de la promotion de la semaine de la collection Nike Team.
Welcome back here to the 2026 Sun Life U Sports Women's Basketball Final 8 presented by Michelob and Hilton Quebec on CBC. Coach Dana Ross Mocon here at halftime. Looking at these stats here, Coach, it's been one-way traffic for the most part for USask. Field goal numbers favoring them, three-point numbers favoring UBC. But overall, it feels like that the Huskies have controlled this game from jump to present moments.
Yeah, a lot of the things that we see on the court are not shown on the stat sheet, and every time Sask gets into the paint, there's two bodies on them. And again, I keep saying the same thing, and it makes it very tough to get into a flow of things. And when UBC came back and made a run for it, it's through transition, right? Knocking down open shots, and that's where they were a bit more successful, and they were able to bring it back within 5 at some point.
All right, so we've seen UBC get close, but then Saskatchewan pull away here. How important is the first 3-4 minutes for UBC to kind of establish their flow of play and get back in this game and make this a conversation?
So important. You know, the first 3 minutes of the third quarter, it's exactly where it's at. It's setting the tone for what's coming up next in the next 17 minutes, you know.
Right.
And so for them to come out strong, making right decision, it's everything. It's win or go home, Mo.
Well, we're here for the next 4 days. We're not going home till Monday. But right now, is it a matter of finding a high percentage shot for UBC or a high quality shot for UBC?
It's both. I mean, the quality comes from the percentage, isn't it?
But you're talking about a Sask team that's top number 2 in points given up in a game at 51.
Yep.
Can they find that against this Husky team that 5 times gave up 60 points or more in a game? And you see from the highlights here, the Huskies just had free will at the basket at times in the first half.
I don't know if they'll be able to do it, but for them to be able to do it, they'll have to find better, decision-making, better shooting on balance, less contested, or at least less shots over 2 people.
Right. And you see the balance right here from the Huskies. Flindell was the one that did a very good job. Very good job in the first half of play. But again, for UBC, the three-point shot underlying story has been their lifeline because it's kept them within range and not be down by 10-plus points in the first half.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of discipline, I'm going to say it that way. Saskatchewan seems like they know where they want to go defensively, and they're able to stand their ground a bit better in that sense.
And we'll see who can stand their ground in the second half here. Could UBC deny the Huskies their moment of maybe, just maybe going back-to-back at the Nationals? Or will Saskatchewan ruin the UBC season again? They did it last year on their home court, which was not a fun party for the Thunderbirds, but they want to return the favor and beat them here out east in Quebec City. And we'll see here coming up.
Honestly, Mo, it's March. Anything can happen. And I'm here for it.
We're looking for that upset, right? But the thing is, by virtue of the seeding of a 4-5 matchup, is it really an upset if it's a seeding like that? Or because the Huskies are the Huskies and they were undefeated for the last, God knows, 2 years almost, 18 months practically, and here they are. They took a blow to the jaw from the Dinos on their home court 2 weeks ago, but now they mean business playing the UBC Thunderbirds.
Yeah, I mean, the 4 to 5 rank competition is never so much of an upset. But still, you said it, Sask is who Sask is in the past 2 years, and it deserved that recognition, right?
Right.
Now, again, UBC coming in here and trying to make a difference is going to be big. I'm excited for the second half.
A minute left before we get back into this action here. Coach Dana Ross Mocon on this Thursday evening. We'll have one more game left. It will be TMU, who are just lording right now on the far side of where we're positioned. They'll take on the host school, Laval Rougior, at 8 p.m. East. And then tomorrow we'll have the consolation bracket. Then Saturday we'll have 3 games. And don't forget, Coach, clocks move up an hour Saturday to Sunday. So we lose an hour of sleep.
Oh.
Who's going to be more grumpier, you or I?
Definitely me.
But I'm fasting, though, right? So it's a bit of a...
Oh, yeah, maybe you, after all.
I might be.
How about that? I might be more grumpy in the morning, and you might be grumpier in the evening.
You might have to carry the gold medal game on Sunday, that's for sure.
Please do not let me do that.
Well, right now, the talking point for these two teams is that they are, at minimum, 3 games away from a gold medal coronation on Sunday at this time of hour in about 3 days from now. But the present moment is that UBC is chasing this game and Reading down by 8 going towards quarter number 3. from Laval, Quebec. As you said before, Coach, the first 3 minutes will be key, and we'll pay close attention if UBC can make a run here, as they will go right to left, Saskatchewan left to right for the second half of action.
Yeah, I'm here for it. I'm excited for this.
And it'll be Gage Grassic who hit the last shot of the first half. Will get things underway here for the Huskies. And this is a Husky team that can definitely put away teams early, and they might do it early here this third quarter if they get a flow of points going for them. Here's Flindell. Back out, going towards the Mong. And here's the three. Splash.
Wow. Wow, way to open the third quarter. An improved three-point shooter this year, going from 25% last year to 37% this year. And so you can see that that's what she worked on all summer.
And Flindell showing the acumen and the shot not going through for Ebbston. Here's the three. Bullseye.
Wow, her third three, if I'm not mistaken, this game.
And for Tunguzi now, that is 3 for 5 from long range.
Wow.
And they're down by 8. Grassic back with it. Could UBC come up with a few stops? Caught in 2 minds. And unfortunately for Dodig, that is a turnover for her. And for the Huskies, at this point in the game now, that is turnover number 7. And this is a free possession now for UBC. Can they convert for points? That is the key. Can they get free possessions from any mistakes from the Huskies? Weeks, quiet first half. And that ball is sent towards the Okanagan, and it goes back towards the Huskies.
That answers your question.
So that breaks even. They even out on that. Cancel each other out on that moment.
Exactly.
8:51 left in this third quarter of play. Gage Grassic, fifth-year player, would love to end off her Husky career with another title to work with. And this will be a foul as Weeb was impeded by Weeks, I believe. And for Weeks,
yeah, she has 2 hands on her. At least her whole body is bumping around her. So that has to be an automatic call.
a rather mundane effort for Olivia Weeks. Only 2 points in this game overall. Flindell back with it. She's been effervescent. Coming through is Dodig, losing the handle. Weeks tripped up, and this will be a shot clock violation, so well defended by UBC, and they get the ball back going the other way.
Yeah, that's great effort. That's a great way to get the ball back, is to make them turn into the key and try to get away from, the basket right there. Look at that effort from UBC.
UBC trying to convert that effort for more points. And here is Sunguzi, who's had a wonderful start. Back with it. And now back to the far corner goes. On the byline it comes. Whipping that pass through. Open three. Cash money. And a big three coming in for Tunguzi. And now they're down by 5 again.
And I'm wondering if they might play Tonegusi a bit more tight now that she has 4 threes in this game here.
Well, she's been the starlight for this UBC team. And that is denied, and that will be a foul, and that might be a ticky-tack call to the eyes of the UBC bench. It looked like it was a clean block from our vantage point, but the referee saw otherwise, and here it is. What do you see, Coach?
I see a lot. You can see the early rotation from UBC, right? But, Gage being a fifth-year player with a lot of experience, she's just trying to attack the body and draw a foul there. But that's just a veteran move because the defense was set on the rotation already.
And here is Grassic at the line so far today, 13 points. 1 of 4 from the line, 2 of 5 from the line. And point 14. Flindell and Grassic have combined for 25 of the 38 points for Sask today. And now make it 26 of the 39 points for Saskatchewan. Could UBC find a run of points early in this second half?
Yeah, that's what we need if you're a UBC fan.
And that is not going to be what they need. A missed shot from the Thunderbirds. And here comes the Huskies in transition, and well defended by Weeks, but she will be called for the foul. And you can see the frustration on her body expression on how that did not play out well for UBC.
Yeah, there has to be a miscommunication from the UBC team, leaving a wide open rim runner.
And for Olivia Weeks. And a missed free throw again for the Huskies, and that has not been their strong point today, Coach. When you look at the numbers so far for the Huskies, They are 6 of 14 from the free throw line, but to the insurance that they have of an 8-point lead, that might not matter at the end of the day if they do end up winning this game.
You're right. 6 for 14 is 43%. That's a pretty good percentage.
And Charlie Carroll with the high percentage shot, and she gets this down to 6. And then UBC chasing this game. And back with it is Grassic. Open space, wide open for Harm. Flindell back with it. Jab step, looking, negotiating off the foot, saved by the Huskies. 6 left on the shot clock. Lovely bamboozling, and a better finish coming through for the Huskies, courtesy of Weeb.
Just a composed offense, ball moving from one side to the other. Took a real good on-balance shot. Why not?
Tanguzi now looking to get going again. Post play, that had too much spice in that pass. Another turnover by the Thunderbirds. Yeah, down by 8, 6:30 left in this third quarter play. The Huskies working the pick and pop. And that is repelled away by Jolie Claire. And they'll bring in a double sub here for the Thunderbirds.
Sask is tasting a bit of their own medicine there. As soon as they caught the ball inside, there's 2 bodies on them. Right? We've got to be, if you're Sask, you have to be able to see that kick in the corner.
Let's see if they can find that kick in the corner again for points. Working their way through again. High-low, and that is last touch by Weeks, intended for Weeb, and this will go back over to the Huskies with 5 left on the shot clock, 6:18 left on the game clock.
Well defended by UBC.
Can they get another stop here? Not that time. Weeb with another 2-pointer, and the points in the paint has been monopolized by Saskatchewan so far today.
You can see that connection. They've been playing with each other for the last 5 years, huh?
Somewhat of a connection, yes, I do see that. 26 to 12 points in the paint so far for the Huskies. Weeks, triple team. Weeks. And that's a hard knock on the court for Olivia Weeks.
The discipline to be in there with their arms up without fouling is something that is very underestimated.
Flindell, open from the flats. Off the heel, a new 14 for the Huskies. A reload. Here is Grassic. And UBC on their bike, 3-on-2 to work with.
They're still 3 for 18 from the 3-point line.
And confirmed right there by LaGrange on that finish, and they're down by 8. 5:25 left in this third quarter of play. Dodig on the turn again, and that will find its way towards the hands of UBC. Merton back with it. Could they hit a big shot now? Weeks could be that player. She is a flamethrower when it comes to long-range shooting. She gets tripped up. Blew a tire. Here's Merton's 3. And that was overcooked on that release by Merton.
Every possession, you see a body on the ground from UBC. It's an extremely physical game.
Well, they're playing with fire, and this right now is the Huskies who have burned UBC a few times. 4:48 left in this third quarter play. And that was nearly a 1-and-1 courtesy of Weeb, and she will go to the line for free throws coming up here for the Huskies.
That would be a 3rd foul, or yeah.
And we'll see now what the situation is moving forward here. And don't forget, Olivia Weeks, I believe, Coach, has 4 personal fouls in this game.
Yeah, 4 fouls.
And she might be on a vacation stay on the bench for the next while. And at what point, if you're UBC, with her having 4 personal fouls, what are you going to do now moving forward here? Do you bring her back in early 4th, or do you have to play it out and weather the storm down by 8?
I mean, depending on what kind of player she is, right? I don't know that. I mean, I'm pretty sure that coach knows that. Is she reliable in that sense? Can she play with 4 fouls? Those are all things that you know as you go into it.
You're watching the 2026 U Sports Final 8 Women's Edition, brought to you by Sun Life, Michelob, and Hilton, Quebec on CBC. Saskatchewan up by a score of 45-36 over UBC from Laval, Quebec. Stay tuned.
Delaney, Northwest Territories, the birthplace of hockey. Here, you'll find a community full of history and tradition. A community that Quaker surprised by transforming their arena kitchen into a Quaker breakfast bar. Stocked with our Canadian whole grain oats, it's now a place to gather, to eat, and to celebrate. We're proud to feed the passion for hockey in the place where it all started. Because we believe, no matter where you're from, you've got this.
Hey, U Sports fans, check out shop.usports.ca for this week's promotional item from the Nike Team collection. Visitez le shop.usport.ca pour en profiter de la promotion de la semaine de la collection Nike Team.
Catch the best U Sports women's hockey teams as they face off at the 2026 Miller Waste Systems U Sports Women's Hockey Championship in Woolwich, Ontario. Action begins Thursday, March 19th on the CBC platform, GEM, CBCSports.ca, and also on the YouTube for CBC Sports. U Sports is where it's at for CBC. And don't forget, men's hockey is back next time around. They will begin their event for the 2026 University President's Cup, presented by Steel Mazda, live from Halifax. Action begins March 19th, 12 p.m. East on all the CBC platforms. And right now, UBC trying to create a platform of points as they're down by 9 with 4:30 left in this third quarter play. And they'll have to do without Olivia Weeks, who's on 4 personal fouls. And this will be a foul on the Huskies.
Yeah, they'll have to dig deep now. You can see they added number 14, Kiara Kelly just made her first appearance in this game here in the third quarter.
From Toronto, Ontario, scoring about 2.5 points per game. Kelly had 7 against UNBC. And just like that, in 2 blinks of the eye, and Tomas trying to, again, work the referees on some of the calls going against her team. And the U Sports Coach of the Year.
Wow.
And back with it again.
One of many.
Plethora. She's got a few in her trophy case. And backdoor, and that will go through the hands of Wagner, somehow through the sea of hands. Ends up back in Saskatchewan's possession, and that will be last touched by UBC off the fingertips of Bergman.
Yeah, I mean, you can see here Huskies rotation early. As soon as the ball's on one side, they're packing up that paint there and forcing UBC to look outside. But they haven't been able to throw it on the weak side there.
Right now, they've stood their ground, the Huskies, in this game. And BC trying to write its own script, which is a comeback script, down by 9 with 4 left in this third quarter play. Grassic twisting, turning. Too much on that shot. And this is back over to DeMong. Around the protractor it comes. 2 left in the shot clock. And that will not count. Shot clock violation. And the hesitation coming off the release from DeMong, and this goes back over to the T-Birds.
That's a great defensive possession by the Thunderbirds.
But now it is up to Kelly and the UBC attack. Can the West Coast girls get themselves back on track? Down by 9. High-low, Wagner in traffic, and this will be a foul on the Huskies.
Again, did you see that possession, Mo? Look at this. As soon as she turns the corner and passes, 1, 2, and 3, right there, waiting for you.
And you know what? It could have been 4 because Leafers was just chilling out there on the edge of the contact. And this will be free throws here for Wagner from Sherwood, Alberta, scoring 6 a game this year for the Thunderbirds. Had scored 10-plus points 5 times in a game this year. Has 47 offensive rebounds this season.
Impressive.
And that could be an underlying X factor for UBC if they do come back in this game against the Huskies.
Yeah, I mean, giving yourself extra possession is what you're looking for, right?
Well, that's no question of doubt. And right now it's -5 for
Speaking
UBC.
of which.
And that possession does not come up at all for the Thunderbirds, and it goes back to the Huskies. Here is Grassic again, trying to work her way through. And that is not going to go through. And back over it comes to the Thunderbirds, trying to go through with a 3-on-2. Transition, and that pass a little too hot for Hartman, and it goes back over to the team in green.
I mean, such a great effort defensively, being disciplined, keeping their hands high, not fouling, going into transition. We've got to be able to, convert these.
And we'll see now if they can convert on this mistake by UBC. And here is Gage Grassic, the top hitter, the box office name, the headliner for this Husky team for the last 5 years. High-low, and she wanted that pass earlier. And that was too strong coming off of Harm's hands. And here is UBC the other way with 2:51 left in this third quarter play.
It's a great action by Sask.
Wagner can't get the reaction of desire. Clean up, whistle, foul. Free throws coming up for UBC. And this will be for Evanston coming up for the team in whites.
Yeah, UBC is really fighting through every possession. They're really trying to get back into this game. You can see the effort in trying to get into that second chance opportunity right there.
And Evanston, 5 games, scored 10+ points, had 16 against Trinity Western. 7 times she's had 9+ rebounds, and you saw, case in point, how she was at the rim, missing her first free throw, shooting 61% this season from Kelowna, BC in her 5th year. So she knows, along with Weeks, that this is their last real roll of the dice to maybe get a chance at the national title with them down by 9.
Yeah. It is also, it's always like a bittersweet moment, huh?
Well, think about it now. For Carleton, for McGill, for those 5th-year players, that's it. They'll never have a chance to get a chance at a national title at that level of sport.
Right. Sad.
Back with it again. Weeb will take it herself. Splitting throw and getting the 2. Quite the adventure by her.
Yeah, I mean, that's just a tough shot from, who is it from?
Weeb.
Weeb, sorry. Just a tough shot over 2 people.
And UBC trying to get themselves a quality shot. 8 left on the shot clock, 2 left on the game clock. And that is not a quality shot. 4 left on the shot clock, and this will go out of bounds. UBC ball, 2 left on the shot clock, and 1:59 left on the big clock.
You know, Mo, that's the thing, that the ball was around the 3-point line for a good 16 seconds before they were able to penetrate that, you know, that 3-point line. And so it doesn't give them a lot of time to kind of find opportunities.
And this will be back to UBC. They'll get a new 14 to work with. So a lifeline given to the Thunderbirds, but again, down by 10 with 1:56 left in this quarter. Can they use their BC trickery and magic on the Huskies? Still with it, 5 left in the shot clock. The release. And that shot lacked the quality on the conclusion.
I mean, you know, you got to give it to the Huskies in the way they're defending this. They're making it really tough for UBC to find any open looks here.
Well, the prognosticators think that we could be on a collision course if it ends up being that Saskatchewan TMU semifinal battle on Saturday. And Gage Grassic is doing her job to make it happen for one half of the bracket, and now they're up by 12, their biggest lead of the day.
Yeah.
UBC and deep red ink have to get out of this quickly enough. And diving out there is Bergman as she goes headfirst into the Saskatchewan bench with 1:13 left, and that third quarter intermission cannot come any sooner for UBC to kind of refocus, readjust, and move forward.
And hoping to get Olivia Weeks back.
But from a coaching perspective, she's on 4 personal fouls. You're down by 12. At what point does she come back in and you say you got to go out there and give us her best? And you're going to wait a couple more minutes into the fourth or let her go from the start?
Again, I think it depends on the person herself. You know, if she's used to playing with 4 fouls, let her get in early. If not, then you might have to keep her out.
And Tungazi now with another 3. They're down by 9, so it was a big shot for her. And she is now on 21 points, 5 of 7 from long range this evening.
Mo, you're an encyclopedia for this, but is this her best shooting game in her career?
I'll let you know during the intermission. Thundell, that's not her best shot. And now UBC, could they get another quality shot to get this down to maybe 7 or 6? Back over it comes. Here is Bergman. Pushed away, and that was well defended by the Huskies. And Saskatchewan looking to get this back to double digits again. Up by 9. Grassic looking. Off balance, and that shot had no balance.
I'm not sure that's the best shot for the Huskies.
That's a lovely pass. The eye of the needle stuff for the Huskies, and now they're up by 11.
A much better shot right there.
And UBC with the last roll of this third quarter, and this will be a whistle, and we're going the other way. And right now, the Laval lights shining on the Huskies and exposing UBC, coach, with 0.8 left in this third quarter of action.
It's going to be a fun last 10 minutes, Mo.
Well, it's going to be a hectic 10 minutes here for UBC. And at the end of 3, Saskatchewan is 10 minutes away from punching their passports to the semifinal on Saturday night. Stay tuned. You're watching the 2026 Sun Life U Sports Women's Basketball Final 8, presented by Michelob and Hilton Quebec on CBC.
Le sport en direct sur icitout.tv. 100% énergie. 100% gratuit. Votre meilleur plan de match pour voir des performances exceptionnelles. Des athlètes de grand talent. Des sports de haut niveau. Tout ça sur l'appareil de votre choix. C'est simple et gratuit sur icitout.tv.
Welcome back here to Laval, Quebec. It has been hitting the ground type of mentality for Saskatchewan, and they're up by a score of 51-40 going towards quarter number 4. And we said it at the top of the game here, Coach. They mean business, and here you are. Look at these numbers. Aside from the three-point shooting, even free throw shooting, Saskatchewan leads the key category numbers, and that is the points for compared to the against.
Yeah, and the other piece is, yes, the free throw percentage is not great on either side. But if you look at it, Saskatchewan had 17 trips to the free throw line, whereas UBC only got 6 of them. But both of them are not converting.
And it's quite alarming because if you're UBC, they make about 15 free throws per game.
Ooh.
And they've only made 1 of 6 in this matchup.
And I mentioned it a few times already. Saskatchewan playing with a lot of discipline down there, keeping their hands really high. And
a big shot coming through for Julie Kerr, and Weeks is back in, so she's going to go the distance for however long she can. And if you're Saskatchewan, do you test her at times?
Absolutely.
Here is Flindell back with it. Back over towards Dodig. Open space to work for the Huskies. Grassic again, in, looking, the hook. Open shot from the center arc. Off the window in at the death. Dodig hitting that 3.
That must be deflating because, again, you allowed the offensive rebound and you're allowing them to get second chances opportunity right there.
12-point lead. And this will be a foul on the Huskies. Strong crowd here. A lot of Husky fans, as you said before. A lot of green in the stands.
Yes, it's packed tonight.
Strong crowd for that. Of course, the evening session of games has begun, and we'll have the last one afterwards with Laval playing as the host team. And right now, the challengers are down by 12 to the national champion Huskies. And with 9:02 left, Saskatchewan looking to put a real grip on this game and not letting go at all.
The next couple minutes are going to be important, Mo.
Would you imagine, and this is definitely general B-ball talk here, they have to get this to single digits by the halfway point of this fourth quarter?
For sure. That's a couple stops.
And Grassic was stopped, and she will go to the free throw line. And again, you look at these numbers right now, It's a 31-30 rebounding edge for the Huskies, but they have 12 offensive rebounds in this game, and they shot the ball just under 40% so far today.
Yeah, I mean, that's what it is. If you want to come back into this game, you can't allow second chances opportunity. They will convert either by, knocking down a layup, a three, or just drawing a foul right there.
And here's Grassic with the delicious touch from the release of the ball. And miss, and here is a new 14 for the Huskies. Offensive rebound, 13 for the Huskies. Here's Dodig. In, finger roll. And back over to the Thunderbirds they come. Dancing their way through. 3-on-2 to work with. With the Euro, tie up, jump ball arrow. Huskies get it the other way.
An impressive hustle from Dodig. She was on that baseline and really came all the way back and tied that ball up. Right, some hand-eye coordination, but most importantly, some hustle, 94 feet.
And you see the exasperation from the UBC Thunderbirds thinking that should have been a foul, but they saw otherwise. 8:23 left in this fourth quarter. And we're going the other way. A little too frisky on the pick, and it's UBC ball. And they have to convert for points now, Coach. Another free possession to work with here.
Some would say that's the new way of drawing charges in modern basketball.
Well, can they find the atonement now here? And they would be happy to hear some more points coming forward again. Jolie Carr's jumper. Weeks can't get the rebound. 2 weeks ago, Saskatchewan were in tears, but now they look like they're going to be in cheers if they hold on to the scoreline with 8 to go, up by 13. The pirouette. And that is in for two, confirmed by Weeb.
I mean, she's been going through that spin move a few times already, trying to get back to that right hand and finishing at the rim.
A bit static here for UBC's offense.
Trying to figure out a way to get an open shot right there.
There it is for Weeks. And that will rim in and in. Point number 5. And she challenged the angle and got that through. A much needed 3 down by 12. Again, this is a Saskatchewan team that easily handled UBC in the fall semester games. And right now, Grassic is handling UBC with ease, and they're up by 14.
Speaking of angles, no?
It's all about geometry. And right now, it's been A+ for geometry angles for Saskatchewan. Weeks in traffic, and she will go to the line instead. No and one on that. You see the hustle and bustle from her, Coach, and what she can bring to this team. But it might be too little too late because of the fact she's been off. And you see right here in the back replay, she's a poacher of points, but today has not been her day.
I mean, her presence is felt right now. And it was missed in that third quarter, absolutely.
She is a Winnipeg native.
Is she?
Yes, she is. And they say the folks from Manitoba and Saskatchewan, there is a real sporting hate. So you have to imagine her being a Winnipegger. She'd love to beat the Huskies.
That's fair.
And give Winnipeg a little celebration at the expense of the Huskies losing. But right now, they're down by 13, south of 7.
Just like textbook way to break the press, all passes.
No bounces. Grassic, another pass from the flats. And a rebound right back into the hands of Merton and the Thunderbirds.
I mean, Saskatchewan are playing with so much poise right now. They seem very confident.
And that is a trip and not the most confident defending from Dodig.
A bit too aggressive on this here.
A little too ticklish at times on that play. And this will be back over to UBC. Side out, 14 left in the shot clock. 6:32 left in the game clock. And with it now is Wynn. Could UBC pull off the smash and grab down by 13? On the byline it comes to Weeks. Extra pass, open 3. And the hot hand was very cold in that shot. And Saskatchewan's back on the front foot again.
Saskatchewan seems to be in a 2-3 zone in the last possession.
You can see by the pantomime reaction from the UBC Thunderbirds, they thought that was clean. And the Saskatchewan fans saw what the referee saw, which was a foul. And you saw what, Coach?
Very physical play, but seems like a clean one. And I feel like that's what they allowed all game long.
And back over it comes. Here are the Huskies. Post play Grassic using her deltoids again. Circling the wagons. And now it's back over to Harm again. Or Weed, that is. And this remains Saskatchewan ball. Last touch by Merton as Dodig got tripped up with 6:01 left. So we're seeing a little bit more high risk, high reward here from UBC.
Yeah. UBC's defending well. They tried to take advantage inside, but really didn't have much of an advantage in that sense.
Reader, back to live action we go. A lovely turn, better finish. And she exudes confidence, and now they're up by 15.
Yeah, this is going to be a tough last stretch for UBC. Hopefully they can cut it down in this last possession here, in this next possession.
Weeks, the three. Just lacked the energy on that three, and just below us are some UBC fans who are a bit frustrated by the effort of the shots not going through for the team from Vancouver.
Yeah, they're looking for quick shots, trying to make it happen on a home run.
Rather than go for singles and doubles, they are going for the Grand Slam, which unfortunately you can't get on one shot, down by 15. But for the Huskies, they'll have to put this game away and put the Thunderbirds to the sword. Grassic, teardrop, and that is her DNA. Delicious touch by her, and now they're up by 17.
Got to give credit to the screener there, creating that opportunity for Gage, going wide open into that key.
Quick hands again. Win. Wagner back over to Merton on the pick. Merton off the window. The angle not perfect. Reader can't get to it. The jumper instead. And the rebound right back to UBC with a new 10 to work with. Weeks in traffic. Whistle and a foul will be called. And she started to get informed, but again, very little time left, down by 17.
Yeah, way to not take that open three when you saw your teammate underneath that rim, and you know, giving that extra pass so that they can find an opportunity at the free throw line.
Timeout called on the court. 4:49 left here in this fourth quarter play. You're watching the 2026 Sun Life U Sports Women's Basketball Final 8, presented by Michelob and Hilton Quebec on CBC. Saskatchewan 4:49 away from winning this game. Moving on to semifinal number 2. Stay tuned.
That's embarrassing. You know it's not embarrassing? Using FIG for a home improvement loan. A quick, simple, and transparent offer in minutes. Borrow better with FIG.
Hey, U Sports fans, check out shop.usports.ca for this week's promotional item from the Nike Team collection. Visitez le shop.usport.ca pour en profiter de la promotion de la semaine de la collection Nike Team.
Welcome back here, and for those who are big volleyball fans, the 2026 U Sports Women's Volleyball Championship presented by Booster Juice is headed to the campus of Trinity Western University in Langley, BC, March 13th to 15th. Tournament packages and single game tickets are on sale now. Click on the QR code on the screen and get your tickets for this great event, Chase the Glory. And don't forget the men's edition, the 2026 BioSteel U Sports Men's Volleyball Championship is headed to the University of Windsor on March 13th to the 15th. Tourney packages and single game tickets are on sale now. Click the QR code at the bottom of your screen or visit usportsticket.ca to guarantee your tickets today. Chase the Glory. And right now, Coach, UBC is trying to chase Saskatchewan down by 15, and this will require the great escape from the Thunderbirds if they end up coming back to win this game, and they have very little time left to do so.
Yeah, I mean, first thing first is try to make it a bit harder for SAS to get into that paint and getting clean shots, right? And then you can see it, the field goal percentage is there, 41.7 to 31.6. And on the other end, we gotta start making some shots. and trying to get second chances opportunities again.
Well, UBC playing at Laval University has not been the most serene effort. If you recall, Coach, back in 2015,
yeah,
you guys went punch for punch with UBC in the semifinals.
Yes, ended up in overtime.
I believe Arash Madani broadcasted that game.
I believe so.
I believe he did. I was watching that on TV with Arash Madani, who's at Calgary doing the men's game. So a full circle moment here. But right now for UBC, the present moment is that they have to get a few more moments of points, which they have not been able to do so, down by 15. 4:35 left. The turn again, and another easy deuce for Dodig. And the points in the paint, Coach, you talked about it before. We're now up to a 36-14 edge for Saskatchewan.
I know, I talked about it a bit earlier too. The comfort and the confidence in which they're playing right now really shows.
And Hartman knocked over the Oakville native in her 5th year. And Hartman will go to the line. UBC hosted the Nationals last year. And here is the Hartman foul. And she got tripped up by Harm.
Yeah, that's a great pass out to her teammate there, finding her wide open underneath that rim after being double teamed.
And now with that, Hartman at the line. Katie Hartman from Oakville, Ontario, just south of U of T. Traffic-wise, we're looking at here from the U of T campus to Oakville, what, 2 hours, 3 hours?
With traffic, probably an hour and 15.
That's been very...
No, with traffic, probably an hour 30. Let's be real. It's brutal.
It's something, Toronto traffic. And here is the traffic jam that was eased up on the finish by Dodig. And it feels like now this game is starting to become Saskatchewan's.
Yeah, I mean, if you're trying to battle back into the game, you can't give a coast-to-coast, after a free throw.
Weeks. And for the Manitoban, getting her 2 points right there to get this down to a 17-point deficit.
That's a tough shot.
And she's had a wonderful career at UBC. Talk about her value, what she's done this year for the Thunderbirds overall. Weeks in her career. 4th in all-time scoring, 2nd in rebounding, 9th in field goals made, 1st in free throws made, 9th in blocks, 8th in steals. So you get my point, though. She is a top 10 player in school history, and I would imagine that she'll be honored down the road for her value that she's brought to the UBC Thunderbirds.
And beside all of that, she had multiple coaches throughout her career.
That's true. That's very, very true.
So this, her first year in this space here with Dave Taylor, and then she had 2 years with Izzy Orman, and before that she had Erin McLennan, and then she was recruited by, Deb Huben. So this is great for what she was able to do.
And it's tough because you talk about when you bring in sports, when you bring in different coaches, different systems.
Yes.
And to be malleable, to adapt to what you have being thrown at you is a testament to your skill set.
Exactly.
And there's a skill set jumper right there by Billings, the Vancouver native, scoring 3 a game. Had 9 points against Thompson River this season. But for her, it'll come to an end in the chase of the national title, and they will be in the consolation bracket tomorrow afternoon, 7 p.m. start. And they hope to finish as high as 5th as their objective now with the days left here in Quebec City for them.
Again, the Saskatchewan's defense was too suffocating.
And that was a body check from the NHL level as Grassic got knocked over. And now we see both teams emptying out the benches. So the white flag being raised here, and you see the body check on Grassic, the hip check right there by Weeks. And that will be that for her. And she is done for the day, and her race for the gold medal is now all but over. Timeout call by Saskatchewan. Thoughts here on the Huskies' performance? It felt like from tip, it's been all business, and they set the tone with the early basket or two along the way.
Yeah, that's what it felt like. They played with a lot of confidence. They knew what they wanted to get to. And, they worked on both ends. Defensively, they were disciplined. Offensively, they were creative. And UBC had just a hard time catching up to it.
And now for the Saskatchewan Huskies, they will not sit back, relax, but now they'll shift their attention towards Laval and TMU, which we'll have next. The Bold against the Rougeois. And many would have thought back in September when you start to forecast who could play who, that maybe that could have been the national title game instead of being a quarterfinal matchup on night one of the 2026 Sun Life Women's Final Eight.
Yeah, Laval has been going to nationals the past 3 years, right? Finished third a couple years ago. Last year, didn't make it to that winning bracket. And again, this year, with a lot of promise, being a top 10 national ranked team all season long. McGill decided otherwise.
Well, McGill ruined those plans because that would have altered the rankings, right? The scenes from who played who. But nonetheless, though, you play with what you're given, regardless of order, and that is a rare turnover by Saskatchewan. And that is turnover. You ready for this one, Coach, for Saskatchewan? How many turnovers they have so far today? Turnover number 9.
Impressive. And versus 18 on the other end. That's a lot of extra possessions for Saskatchewan.
I'm sure Coach Tomatis will find something that went wrong for the Huskies, but this was a pretty solid, if not perfect game of execution when called upon.
Coaches really have every coach has an easy way to make sure that, we get better.
Are you like that with your players at U of T?
I believe they'll probably tell you yes.
So if your team went 100% from the field, 50-50, you win 100-75 against Team X, will you find something that didn't work well? Like, guys, this did not work well for us.
Why do you allow 75 points?
What if it was 74 points?
Why do you allow 74? That's too much.
What if it was only 30 points?
30 points could work, yeah. That's great. That's great defense.
Well, right now they're defended by the Huskies, and unfortunately for UBC, they will not be one of the 6 teams to score 60-plus points on the Huskies today. And right there for UBC, they'll get maybe 1 or 2 more chances of possession on offense. So far, Coach has gone according to script in terms of the top seeds winning the opening day of games, and now we have TMU, the overall number 1 seed, and that is foul on Ebbston. TMU, is there pressure being the 1 seed?
Of course. Playing the host in this gym here, yes, absolutely. We were ranked first in my last season. Playing UNB at UNB, it is very special.
It's not easy.
Not easy at all.
And if you recall, 2 years ago in 2024, Laval were the 8th seed against UVic, and we know what happened the rest of the way.
Yeah.
Nathan Grant has a national title ring, and he's going for his second one at Calgary this weekend. Flindell.
I think Flindell was fouled by her own teammate there.
It happens. Friendly fire at times. Player of the game in your mind is who, Coach?
I'm going to say Gage Grassic on the Saskatchewan end, and then Tunagutsi on the opposite end. I mean, she's been pretty phenomenal for UBC.
Grassic, 25 points in this game, 4 rebounds. You look at Weep, she had 16 and 8, and again for Tunguzi, she had 21 points, 5 of 8 from three-point range. And for Olivia Weeks, 10 points, albeit though she fouled out. She was in foul trouble from the second quarter onwards. And with 1:07 left, the Huskies are looking to add an insurance policy and enjoy the Thursday night in St. Foy.
Allowing the younger players to have some playing time on this stage is extremely important, so this is great.
It's literally next player up.
Yeah.
Because you're building for, as much as it's the present moment, you're building for the future moment as well.
Yeah, and we talked about it. Saskatchewan are graduating 5 players.
And that is a lot but this is the Huskies. They'll reload for 2026, but they're in play for this championship here. So forget about the future. In the present moment, though, they have been an absolute force, a strike force, that is.
Yeah, that's what you expect from a powerhouse, right?
That's what you do expect from a perennial contender like the Huskies. Remember, this is a team under Tomatis that really got going under her watch the last 20 years and really has been one of the talking points in U Sports basketball.
You know, Mo, what's impressive to me is that Saskatchewan they won in 20 2015, 2016. They won again in 20, I believe, 19, 20, and they won in 24, 25. And these are 3 different set of players that she had won with.
Well, they've won 6 medals under her watch, but for the Huskies, they will stamp their place into the semifinals tomorrow night. They win this game 71-55 over UBC. They take out their CanWest rivals, and now get ready to face the winner of TMU Laval coming up next from St. Foy.
I mean, this is a total dominance from the Huskies on one end to the other. And, you know, the effort was there from UBC, but not enough to close this game.
Yeah, and that's the unfortunate part for UBC. I mean, you wonder, they had momentum. They beat Regina in the semifinals in the CanWest. And then they're home to Calgary. And all eyes were on UBC that, hey, if they win this CanWest title, they would have been playing McGill or whoever was on the other side of the bracket, but they lose, and Calgary gets McGill on the other side of the bracket, and unfortunate for them, they hit a skid at the wrong point of the season, losing their last 2, but now they look forward towards next year, but at the present moment trying to finish as high as 5th by Saturday nights.
I mean, it's just sad. At the end of the day, there's only one winner. You know what I mean? And it's like, as you go into the tournament, teams are going to be more sad, teams are going to be happy, but that's just, you know, the nature of sport at this point.
In sport, they always say you lose more than you win. And unfortunately for this sequence, you're absolutely right, Coach. There'll only be one winner out of the 8 teams.
Yeah,
and
one winner out of the 48 teams.
Overall, yes.
Overall.
That's right. Here are the player of the games for Saskatchewan and for UBC.
La joueuse du match, Nike team. Du côté des Thunderbirds et UBC, the Nike team player of the game for the UBC Thunderbirds. Le numéro 8, number 8, Sarah Telgoodney.
You're bang on that call, Coach.
Yeah, no surprise there. She really showed out tonight.
We'll get a Nike gift bag.
Et la joueuse du match, Nike team du côté des Huskies de la Saskatchewan. The Nike team player of the game for Saskatchewan, le numéro 5, number 5, Gage Grassic.
The pharmacist giving the medication of what she did, which was 25 points on 9 of 17 shooting today for the Huskies. And that'll do it for us here. We will be back at the top of the hour as we get ready for the final game on day 1. TMU Laval, the number 1 seed against the number 8 hosts in the Laval Rouge from St. Foy. Stay tuned here from the 2026 Sun Life Youth Sports Women's Basketball Final 8 presented by Michelob in Hilton, Quebec on CBC.
Sports on CBC, presented by Sport à Radio-Canada, une présentation du gouvernement du Canada, the Government of Canada, Nike, Fox 40, Veriburn Medical Supply, Les Bagues Baron Rings, BioSteel, Hilton Quebec, Michelob Ultra, Wilson, APAR, and by Sun Life.
That's embarrassing. You know it's not embarrassing? Using FIG for a home improvement loan. A quick, simple, and transparent offer in minutes. Borrow better with FIG.
Le sport en direct sur icitout.tv. 100% énergie. 100% gratuit. Votre meilleur plan de match pour voir des performances exceptionnelles. Des athlètes de grand talent. Des sports de haut niveau. Tout ça sur l'appareil de votre choix. C'est simple et gratuit sur icitout.tv.
Hey, U Sports fans, check out shop.usports.ca for this week's promotional item from the Nike Team Collection. Visitez le shop.usport.ca pour en profiter de la promotion de la semaine de la collection Nike Team.